Whenever the old people bathed in that strange water, it felt as if a sudden new strength flowed into their bodies. People said that even great wealthy kings and monarchs came here with deep faith. It was even rumored that the last stage of cancer could be cured here with ease. But the most terrifying thing was that whoever came to this sanatorium never returned. This mysterious place was built high up in the Alps. One day, a young man traveled nearly 6,000 kilometers to reach this place. His name was Dan. His only purpose was to bring back the chairman of his company. But just as he was about to go inside, the nurse clearly stated that visiting hours were over. No matter what, he was not allowed to enter. Left with no choice, Dan turned back. He was thinking that he would report everything to the board when he suddenly realized there was no network there. The phone didn't work at all. At that moment, by coincidence, an old man hit his ball into the bushes. Dan went to retrieve the ball. Near a ventilation shaft, some strange sounds were coming out, but he didn't pay much attention to it. He got into his car and left, thinking he would return the next day. But then his eyes fell on a girl standing on the roof. She was staring straight at him. As soon as Dan turned his car onto the mountain road, he felt that the girl was appearing at every turn. Before his mind could understand anything, a deer suddenly appeared in front of him, and there was a violent accident. When Dan regained consciousness, 3 days had already passed. Both his legs were wrapped in thick plaster. Sitting in front of him was the director of the sanatorium. It felt as if he had been waiting for Dan to wake up. He examined Dan and said that he needed rest. Then he signaled the nurse to give Dan some water. Dan drank the entire glass in one gulp, but suddenly he was shocked. He saw that some strange creature was trapped in the water. He thought it might just be an insect. He crushed it with his fingers and killed it. Limping, when Dan reached the corridor, what he saw was hard to believe. The world's richest people were bathing in the swimming pool. The shocking part was that elderly men and women were able to hold their breath underwater longer than even the young. The nurse led him forward and took him to the steam bath. After passing through several rooms, Dan suddenly felt that there was no path ahead. When he turned back, the door he had come through had disappeared. Now he was completely trapped in this place. Just then, through the mist, a shape slowly began to form. It was the same deer that he had run over with his car that day. Driven by curiosity, Dan followed it. Going further, he saw an old man sitting bent over, and he was none other than the very chairman of his company, the one Dan had traveled such a long distance to find.